Another tough night for our football team, and obviously everybody that follows South Carolina football. It's been a tough year, and this was another tough night. Did appreciate our kids straining in the second half and competing. I was wondering there for a second if we were going to compete, and it was good to see them compete in the second half. Can't have as many self-inflicted wounds as we had tonight. Opportunities to score touchdowns and 2 penalties, stopped 2 drives. Obviously missed 2 field goals. Defensively, there's 2 DBs early in the first half, was Jamie in the second. Just depleted over there, and it's a tough situation, but it's a tough situation for Kentucky too. They've got a lot of players out. It's been a tough year for these kids. Hats off to Kentucky for their effort tonight and coming out and doing what they needed to do. They were efficient in running the ball and throwing the ball. They got us a couple of times on their run action passes. We had them at some third downs there in the first half. If we could have got off the field, it could have helped. And just didn't have enough tonight. But again, I appreciate our kids fighting in the second half. And honesty and transparency, I didn't know what was going to happen. It's good to see them strain. A lot of young guys that played. They're going to have to play for the future here at South Carolina football. And obviously, they got some growing up to do. You got to develop, but the experience is good. Whether it's good or bad, it's good to have experience, and that's something that they can fall back on. Question.
Ben with the first one.
Hey, Mike, just first off, easy. Kevin Harris, just what can you say about kind of –
Sorry about that.
Okay, go ahead.
Just what did you see kind of going right for Kevin, and just what can you kind of say about the performance he delivered for you guys tonight?
Yeah, I wish we could have given it to him double that amount, 42 times, 21 carries for 213 yards. Really a phenomenal job by him. Hitting the hole full speed, running through arm tackles. A good job our offensive line and tight ends doing a nice job of opening up holes. And he took advantage of those holes. And then when there wasn't holes there, he made yards, push the pile. Seeing all those guys push the pile was good to see. We have no balance right now in any kind of semblance of a passing game, and it's we're too one-dimensional, and it's hard to run the ball down the field as much as we are without explosive plays. Now we had some explosive plays in the second half. It's Kevin popping off some long runs. But we weren't able to do anything in the passing game, which hurt us. But hats off to Kevin, a phenomenal year. Obviously, he's over 1,000. I don't know the total. That's something that those guys in there took pride in. I wanted to get him that, and that's a team award, and something that hadn't been done here since 2013. And I think running back position is pretty healthy here. Good to see Rashad come back in the game and get 60 yards rushing. And you still got Marshawn, who had the injury, and Fenwick, who missed the last 2 games. So, and I know we're gonna sign a couple good players too.
David.
Hey, Mike, what do you do now? Obviously, there's a lot of uncertainty going on what will happen in the next few weeks, but how do you and the staff go back to Columbia and start approaching these next few days?
Well, first thing we got to do is got to get COVID test tomorrow. That's our Sunday ritual. The players, where everything's online right now. So, next week is finals, I believe, and it's a mandatory week off, for those guys by NCAA rules that they'll have off. And we'll get back and we'll talk to the administration and see, where we go from here, as a staff and the direction that they give us.
Josh.
Hey, Mike, did you guys talk to the league about not playing considering where your numbers were, or were you completely fine to go up there with what you had in play today?
No, I mean, we knew that the league was going to encourage us to play, conversations with other coaches that had similar issues, throughout the year. Obviously, we're low, and, that's obvious, but it is what it is. This is that year. It's tough, it's tough on these kids. It's tough thing to go through. And again, some of those kids aren't quite ready to play yet, SEC football, but it's going to give them experience moving forward. And it's something they can build on. Obviously, losing is not what you want. And, but you learn from your failures sometimes. And, they can look at themselves in the eye and be honest about how they need to improve. They can learn from this, and success can come out of it.
Eric Boyd.
Yeah, Mike, I know all year long you've tried to create some ways to get Joyner the ball in space, being one of the better athletes. It's just kind of leave you shaking your head a little bit that here we are to week 10, and he goes out there, has a long kickoff return, has the fake punt catch, and then has the, makes another nice touchdown reception.
Yeah, it was good to see, DK do that. DK is one of the players that, that I'm talking about when talk about guys that, have not, played a lot in the position they're at. And, to go out there and get that experience is going to be good for him, moving forward. And it was good to see him do that. And hopefully that will give him confidence. I think he knows there's things that he's got to work on as a football player to improve. And it's like I just told all those guys, and you got to be honest with yourself, what you need to work on and how you need to approach things and to continue to get better. He's battled some injuries, throughout the year, but to see him, come out today and have some positive plays, which was good to see.
Colin Taylor.
Yeah, Mike, just have you gotten a chance to take a deep breath over the last 3 weeks, and how do you kind of evaluate this kind of roller coaster that you've been on since?
Well, it's not about me. It's about these kids and trying to teach them to continue to fight when things don't go well. And I think the only way that I can show that is continue to come into work, continue to encourage, continue to push, continue to try to hold them accountable, and realize that things aren't always going to go the way that we want them to go. I mean, we can sit here and say, "Woe is me," and what everything that hasn't went right for us as individuals, or you can do what why you got in this profession, and that's help young kids learn how to fight and become men. And becoming a man is not always easy. Becoming a man is learning how to fight through tough times. And, it's like, again, I'm going to reiterate what I said. If these kids can learn, from that and these struggles and continue to push through that, that's going to help them in the long run. And like I've been telling them for the last couple of weeks, it doesn't matter who's going to be talking to them, who's going to be up in front of them as their coach. Is how they take individual responsibility moving forward, for their football team. It's their football team. Yes, you have a coach, and but when coaches coach, players play, and the players got to play, and they got to take that ownership. And that's part of learning sometimes, is going through a struggle. And if you'll be honest with yourself, you can learn from that. But I'm not concerned about myself. I know I could coach, and sometimes everything doesn't go right. It's like I told all our coaches, good coaches in this room. Don't doubt yourself. You continue to fight and show these kids how to respond.
Bill Cornblood.
Yeah, hey, Mike. Just being reported by Bruce Feldman that it will be Shane Beamer as the next coach at South Carolina. Do you know Shane? Would you like an opportunity to stay on his staff once the official announcement is made?
They say somebody.
He said Shane Beamer apparently it was just reported that he's going to be the next.
By who? By Ray Tanner or somebody on Twitter?
I think by somebody else.
It's by Bruce Feldman.
Bruce Feldman.
The question I think was do you want to be part of it, right, Phil?
Right. Well, to be honest, and I'm gonna be totally honest, I haven't thought about that or given much thought about that. My kids have. They asked me that. Where we're going to be living, Dad. Where we're going to be? Are we moving again? And I tell them the good Lord's going to take care of us and put us where we need to be. And if it's here in South Carolina, that's where I'll be. And if it's not, we'll move on, and I'll continue to try to show my kids at home their dad continues to go to work and respond the right way.
Yeah, Coach, I guess you've kind of touched on it earlier and in previous sessions with us talking about players needing to take accountability moving forward and how that'll, help the program continue into the right track. What are some of the areas that you think that need to be addressed as far as things that need to be improved
I'm not going to get into specifics about that. When I talk about accountability, I'm talking about our everyday showing up and straining and fighting, for what's important and having pride. Todd Ellis talked to our team last night about having pride. He talked about, not being afraid to fail. And I think sometimes, we as not just young people, really society now, we don't like to put ourselves out there because there's so much noise that comes back that's negative, and people want to tell you why you're a failure. But these kids are in the arena. They're the ones fighting. So they're putting themselves out there every week. And they got to learn that, failure is going to happen when you put yourself out there, but you got to continue to work. So that's been my main message. It hasn't been trying to fix, what might be some issues that need to be corrected going forward. And we're not going to get into those. My main focus has been, let's fight. Let's have fun doing it. Let's fight for everybody in the room. It was not, it'd be 41-18 is not a good outcome. But there was some strain in the second half, and there was some little energy in the second half, and guys out there that hadn't played, making plays. And I'm looking at, Jabari Ellison here, a guy that's, continued to fight, one of our only few starters that's remaining. But he's out there fighting. And, that's part of your legacy as a leader sometimes is how you show these guys to fight. And that's really all I have been focusing on for 3 weeks. And, it's easy to say, woe is me. We say kids do it all the time, but hell, we all do it, but who's going to stand up and not say what's wrong with everything and try to fix it yourself? That's what I'm looking for.
Take 3 more. Ben, Eric, and Colin. Ben.
Mike, where do you think this roster is, and how close do you think this roster is to potentially being a team that could kind of make a jump back to being sort of that solid kind of SEC squad?
Well, you're never as good as you think, and you're never as bad as you think. It doesn't look like it when you're, what's our record? 2-8. But the margin, is not as wide as you think. Or as even the individuals in that locker room might think. It's closer than you think. It's right there, and then it's easy to go the other way. I think this, part of what hurt, a lot of football teams out there, except maybe the ones with, it's got rosters full of guys, is that there was no, football's a team game. And then when you're not able to really be around your team, have a meal with your team, you're not, they don't really get to know the coaches, and you form that bond. And there's a new bond that's created every single year with football teams because there's new leadership. There's a new identity that's got to be built. And that was hard to do this year. And I think, leadership across the country in a lot of football teams, people were a lot of inconsistencies every week, and everybody's dealing with that. So football is a special game that you got to create that bond, and a new one's built every year. And I think that's something that, has got to be worked on moving forward, of building a bond, of playing for each other. And I mean, that's the, Todd Ellis said this last time, you can't recreate, no matter how hard you try, and I played, and I feel the same way, that bond you have with guys in that locker room. But when you can't be around them all year, and you just show up and you practice and you go play, it's hard to create that bond. So I think that's the number one challenge for the next head coach is creating that bond within the football team. And a lot of coaches out there are going to have that challenge.
Last question goes to Eric Boynton.
Yeah, Mike, you just finished talking a good bit about the fight and the players, and he's obviously put a lot of good film out there on the field. But what did it say about Shai? I mean, coming off a head injury, certainly he could have had every reason to not play this final game. But what does it kind of show scouts at the next level and just say about his character that he went ahead, put the pads on, and was out there giving it his all tonight?
It was good to see him come out and play. You know, when sometimes, especially when you're seniors, it's an easy thing to say, I'm going to go ahead and get ready. And because that's a lot of examples these kids have nowadays. But it showed me a lot that you know, he wanted to come out and he wanted to play with his teammates. And obviously, you know, he didn't have a great statistical game. We weren't able to throw the ball well at all. But, you know, he came out and he practiced all week, and there really was never any doubt that he was getting ready to play. And I think, you know, that's going to show people that, you know, this guy's got what it takes, you know, to play at the next level.
All right, thank you, Coach.
All right, thanks, guys.